This meeting is being recorded.
Time now is 6:30 p.m. Call this meeting to order. Land and Natural Resources Committee. Today's date's June 7, 2022. And vacation, I'd like to ask Representative McHenry if you'd offer that for us this evening.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we praise your name, give it thanks, God. Give you the opportunity that we have to conduct the business of our nation and our citizens, Father. We ask that you continue to lead us, guide us in the decisions that are made, blessing each and every one of them, that Father, that is gathered here today. And we ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, thank you. Next we have is roll call. Legislative Clerk Tracy Knobloch.
Joseph Hicks. Charles McHenry. Galen Cloud.
Here.
Gerald Proctor. Nelson Harjo.
Here.
Chairman, you have 5 present, 0 absent.
5 present, 0 absent. Constitutes a quorum, and any business conducted this evening will be official. I'd like to remind everyone who is not speaking to be put on mute, please. Next we have is approval of minutes for May 10th, 2022. I'll give committee time to review and ask for a motion.
Chair, make a motion we approve all minutes with any necessary changes.
Motion been made by Representative Hicks to approve all minutes with any necessary changes.
Second.
Second by Representative McHenry. Roll call.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Galen Cloud.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. That minutes have been approved for May 10th, 2022. Down to order of business. Muskogee Creek Traditional Church Summer Church Camp and Mission Trip Grants, Community Indian Baptist Church, Chris Tiger. We have an application for the church camp for Community Indian Baptist Church. Go ahead, Mr. Tiger.
You might have to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
So we're requesting amount of 100 to go to Indian Falls Creek the end of July.
Okay, thank you. They approved, have all receipts returned in from last year or previous.
Yeah, but everything's.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, any questions from committee? No questions, need to.
Motion to approve.
Motion been made to approve this, the grant for Community Indian Baptist Church Summer Camp by Representative McHenry.
I second.
Right, Representative. Roll call.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Galen Cloud. Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. That includes the grants for the church camp. First item we have is TR 22-089. A tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a United States Department of Agricultural Natural Resources Conservation Service Conservation Program contract for the Muskogee Creek Nation Conservation District. Sponsor is Galen Cloud.
Chair, make a motion to adopt.
Motion for due pass by Representative Cloud,
Third.
second by Representative McHenry. Discussion. Representative Cloud, you got someone to discuss this?
Yeah, if there's somebody on this that would like to discuss this, it's on the Zoom. I can't see everybody's.
Yes. Chairman, this is Patricia Kilian.
Yeah.
I was with the Conservation District before, and this is a grant from the National Association of Conservation Districts that they provide to help the local conservation districts to be able to provide technical assistance and help with citizens on urban and rural farming and gardening.
All right, thank you. Do we have any questions from committee? No questions? Roll call vote.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is TR 22-090, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to accept property donated, acquire all necessary documents, and place property in the trust. Sponsor is Joseph Hicks.
Chair, make a motion to pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative Hicks,
Second.
second by Representative Harjo. Discussion.
Chair, I'd like to ask if there's anybody on from Realty or maybe even Jesse Allen that would have could speak on this, please.
Speaker, this is Sonia McIntosh. I am here to discuss this and several pieces of legislation that we have tonight. This particular piece of property was given to us as a part of a probate. And when we received it, we just received it as pretty much like an inheritance. So we never got legislation on this piece of property. This is a 40-acre tract in Creek County. So in order for us to proceed with the trust process, we need a TR to proceed with that process. So this is what we're doing tonight.
Okay, thank you. Questions from committee? Jesse, you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Galen Cloud.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is TR 22-091, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to accept property donated, acquire all necessary documents, and place property in the trust. Sponsor is Joseph Hicks.
Chair, make a motion to pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative Hicks,
Second.
second by Representative McHenry. Discussion.
Chair, I believe instead of having Ms. Sonia speak on this, this is basically the exact same thing as the last set of legislation. This property I know is located just right there in Sapulpa, over pretty close to the Walmart area.
Okay. Questions from committee? Questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Galen Cloud.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is TR 22-092, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a memorandum of agreement with the National Association of Conservation Districts for the benefit of the Muskogee Creek Nation Conservation District sponsors Charles McHenry.
Chair, make a motion to do pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative McHenry,
Second.
seconded by Representative Hicks. Discussion? Ms. Kilian?
Protected at the front door.
Yes, this is the same thing. This is the grant with the National Association of Conservation Districts. In order for us to be able, they help us provide technical assistance to our citizens on the urban gardening and farming.
Okay, all right, thank you. Questions from committee? Questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is TR 22-093, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation amending TR 21-098, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a certain agreement between Expedition Properties LLC and the Muskogee Creek Nation Department of Health, authorizing the principal chief to place property in the trust. Sponsor is Charles McHenry.
Chair, make a motion to do pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative McHenry,
Second.
second by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Ms. Sonia?
Yes, Speaker, this is the same. The language was not in the original TR and it didn't encompass the whole legal descriptions of the property that the health department had. So we just amended that legislation and the wording to allow the chief to put the land into trust.
Okay, thank you.
Chair.
Yes,
Ms. McIntosh, could you
Yes.
tell me exactly what property this is?
This is the council vote.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
all right, thank you. Any more questions from committee? Questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is TR 22-096, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation amending TR 21-019, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing principal chief to execute a real estate contract and related documents for the purchase of property in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, to correctly reflect the entire property that was purchased by the nation. Sponsor is Nelson Harjo Sr.
Motion to do pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative Harjo,
Second.
second by Representative McHenry. Discussion.
Speaker, this is the old RPI building north of town in Okmulgee County. And we're just encompassing the whole legal description and allowing the chief to, the language in the TR to put the land in trust.
Okay, thank you. Questions from committee? Questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have to turn the chair over to Vice Chair Representative Harjo.
Okay, I'm here. Okay. Let me look at, I'm sorry.
I'm having to work. I don't have my laptop here, or my laptop's not working. So let me see if I can pull this up. I apologize. Just take me just about a minute. I'm sorry, I was ill prepared. Now, tribal resolution was this one?
097.
097. Okay. Okay. That's the first time I've done this. So the tribal resolution 22-097, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation, amending TR 19-062, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation, authorizing the principal chief to purchase property located in McIntosh County, Oklahoma, to correctly reflect the nation. And this was sponsored by Representative Darrell Proctor.
Motion for due pass.
Motion for due pass has been requested, and now okay, we got a second. Okay. Do we have a roll call vote?
Discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion. I'm sorry, discussion.
This piece of property is in Shakota. It's directly west of the casino, and we needed an intended use for this tract of land before we put it in trust.
Okay. Is there any other discussion from committee members? Is there any discussion from council online or council present? If not, we'll go into a roll call vote.
Gerald Proctor,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, I want to turn the chair back over to Chairman Darrell Proctor.
All right. Thank you, Vice Chair. Next item we have is TR 22-098, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation, amending TR 04021, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to negotiate for and purchase restricted property in Okmulgee County, Oklahoma, located in the western boundary of the nation's tribal headquarters in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, to correctly reflect the nation's use for tract of land. Sponsors Nelson Harjo Sr.
I make a motion for due pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative Harjo,
Second.
second by Representative Hicks. Discussion.
This property is there on the main complex, and there is cemetery, a few grave sites there right now. And I think the current legislation just says to increase the nation's land base, and we wanted to make it more defined, and that's what this legislation is for.
All right, thank you. Questions from committee? Questions from council online? Hearing
Chairman,
that. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Representative Golden, go ahead.
yes, on this, it is one page missing because on the bottom line where it says for the continued use as a cemetery and that's the end of it. Is there another page missing maybe?
We are looking at that right now.
Unless I skipped it. Wait just a second. I go for it.
I believe it should end at cemetery.
we need to correct that to reflect?
I apologize for that. Yes.
Okay. You can correct that, right?
Yes, I guess so.
Mhm. We'll have that correction. Thank you for that, Representative Golden. Any more questions?
So what is gonna be the correction then? Just take the end off, okay.
Any more questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next time we have turn back over to Vice Chair Representative Harjo.
Okay, and like I said, I apologize because my laptop's down, and so I can't see all our TRs. I've read through them, but I can't remember what's the new number here.
099.
099. Okay. Okay, just please give me a moment. I apologize. Okay, tribal resolution 22-099, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to renew a U.S. Department of Interior Bureau of Indian Affairs business lease between the nation and U.S. Cellular for the use of an existing cellular tower. And the sponsor is Representative Darrell Proctor.
Motion for due pass.
Motion for due pass is, we got a second by Representative Hicks. Is that Hicks? And I'm sorry, my apologies. Representative Cloud. Now discussion.
All right, thank you. Ms. McIntosh, do you have this?
Yes, this is ours. I'm gonna defer to my leasing specialist. She's here with me, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Mhm.
Hi there, this is Belinda Green. This lease is for a cell tower that's located on Eufaula Dormitory. It expires at the end of July in 2024, and the company is wanting to renew. And they're just trying to get the conversation started. We wanted to make sure that the nation was okay with that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Is there any discussion from committee? Any discussion from council online? If not, then roll call vote.
Gerald Proctor,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
All right, thank you. Motion passes. I want to turn this back over to Chairman Darrell Proctor.
All right, thank you. Next item we have is TR 22-100, a tribal resolution of Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing principal chief to execute a purchase sale agreement for property located in Hughes County, Oklahoma, and sponsors Galen Cloud.
Chair, make a motion to do pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative Cloud. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Charles, Representative McHenry. Discussion.
Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
could I ask Ms. McIntosh what exactly this property is down there in Hughes County?
Yes, this is a old DHS building. We, I don't know if you're aware, but most of the DHSs have shut their doors. The majority of them are owned by individuals. And we're calling this the Gibbs property because the family, Mr. and Mr. Gibbs approached our office, about 6 months ago, asking us if we'd be interested in it. And we got the appraisal and did all the title work on it. And we kind of passed it by. We had a couple of departments look at it and then they came back around again. And anyway, we went down and looked at it, and there was a need after speaking with chief and the other officials for something down south. I think just to make a better presence. I had been in conversation with some people saying that we need a courthouse down there, just office space. The building will hold up to 90 offices. It's all cubicled, and most of the DHS buildings, because we have looked at another DHS building, they just walked away. The state walked away from them. They left all the cubicles, the desk, everything in the building. So, and it looks, it's ready to go. I think they've checked the Wi-Fi and for all the. I'm not an IT person, so I think they've checked for all of that down there. So, but that's what we intended, the intended use, and it's on 2 acres, just about 2 acres. So it's a pretty good size tract of land.
Ms. McIntosh, also I noticed it said negotiated price. Is that what the appraisal come out to be? I'm just curious.
So they wanted 350. The appraisal was 280. We negotiated 3.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Any more questions from council or committee? Questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
yes,
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is NCA 22-069, allow the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing expenditure of the American Rescue Plan Act fiscal recovery funding for the benefit of the Department of Interior Affairs for the Muskogee Creek Nation Tribal Complex Drainage Project. Sponsors Galen Cloud.
Here I make a motion to do pass.
Motion for D pass by Representative Cloud, second by Representative McHenry. Discussion.
Chairman,
Yes.
this is Jesse Allen, and I have Tom Edwards online, and also Zach Harjo. Tom can speak about so this is the drainage along Highway 75, as you all are probably aware, on the complex. And Tom Edwards through Federal Roads, they designed a culvert to correct that drainage issue and to clean it up, and to provide more access for the water to flow through, and we won't have the washout as we are having right now for many years. So if we need more specific questions, Tom can answer those on the engineering side. But we also, this is an allowable expense through ARPA. The estimated cost is around, around $3 million. So I was going to let Zach Harjo speak about the use of the ARPA funds and show the examples and different options that we have for those funds.
Okay, thank you.
Evening, council. Is it, do I need to wait? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You have the floor.
Yeah, so the only question we really had about this legislation, I know we felt strongly about it when we proposed it, but that came before the possibility of the nation participating in the multi-tribe partnership with the state to contribute $6 million of our ARPA funding that'll be matched dollar for dollar by the state in a general fund pool. So essentially, we were just curious, and like, I mean, I know Jesse and I and probably Tom feel the same, that if National Council really wants to see this legislation move forward, we do have the ARPA funding, but we could also, if we're going to delegate the full $6 million, which I've looked into the budget and how much ARPA funding remains unobligated, there's ample funding for that if council wants to do both projects. But realistically or theoretically, if we contribute the full 6 million, we'll have a $12 million funding source to essentially pull from, through a partnership with the state. And instead of spending our own ARPA allocation separate from that 6 million, we could request funding for the same project under that partnership with the state. The only consideration would be that it would delay the progress of the improvements to the intersection at 75 and 56 loop. Whereas, if we partnered with the state, or if we just did it through our own ARPA allocation separate from where we might contribute to the state partnership, things would happen probably several months quicker. So I don't have an opinion one way or another. I think the project certainly needs to be done and funded either, through our own obligation of ARPA funds or through a partnership. But I just didn't know, I wanted to present to council, kind of both options if we're going to pursue funding for one or the other or both.
All right, thank you. This funding is for the drainage project, correct, Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Chair.
No, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Harjo, what is our balance on the ARPA funding right now? What are we at?
So I'm sorry. That's about $22 to $24 million, just depending on what ARPA funded projects get or what ARPA legislation gets approved. But that's unobligated. And the other kind of reality too is that both DA1, DA2, and the vaccine incentive programs will most likely be returning a significant amount of funding back to the ARPA general revenue pot, because all of the obligated amounts for DA1, DA2, and the vaccine incentives haven't reached, I think, over 80% applicants. So there's a sizable amount of funding that'll be returning to that. So that 22 million is what we have unobligated roughly currently, but there certainly will be more opportunities in the near future once that the eligibility of those programs expires at the end of this month.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you. Questions from committee? Questions from council online?
Chair.
Yes.
May I ask Mr. Edwards a clarification question?
Yes, go ahead.
Tom, what is the timeline, for this project would be your best estimate?
Mr. Edwards?
No. Sounds like he's having technical issues.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, we just lost him. Okay, we can.
I just wanted the council to, we can do either option. I just wanted to, I spoke with Second Chief earlier today, and I wanted to speak with Zach and throw both of those options to the council regarding the ARPA funds.
Chairman, this is Sandy Golden.
Yes, go ahead, Representative Golden.
Yes, did we decide that we were going to partner with the state for that $6 million? We were going to commit that? Did we decide that or did we not?
Mr. Allen, can you answer that?
I know Mr. Zechariah Harjo, he has provided that information to Speaker. And from an email earlier today, but I don't know if a decision has been made by council or not.
Thank you.
If I might add something, would it be okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there's, as far as I know, there's been no decision. I know Speaker Lowe, as well as Second Chief and Chief of Staff Jeff Fife, they just wanted an update on the numbers to really kind of inform the decision if we would partner, and if we are, what amount. And so I, just ran the reports, and like I said, we have more than enough money or funding remaining, and we'll receive more after the end of this month back in that general revenue to really fund both of them. But it is just up to council to decide which route we want to take.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Any more questions from committee or council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. It motion passes. Next item we have is NCA 22-070. A law of Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the expenditure of American Rescue Plan Act fiscal recovery funding for the benefit of the Tiny Homes Program. Sponsors Galen Cloud.
Chair, I make a motion to do pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative Cloud,
Second.
second by Representative McHenry. Discussion.
Chairman, this is Miranda Carman.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I do have our staff from the caregiver program who will be overseeing the tiny homes as we launch. So this particular budget is using the American Rescue Plan funds for the first 3 years of operation. These are estimates because we don't know exactly how much it will cost. We'll have a better idea after year 1 of the exact cost to operate, but this budget will allow us to open up and begin to utilize the 4 homes that we have. And if there's any questions, I do have Anna Sterner and her team on.
Okay, thank you. Questions from committee?
Chairman,
Yes, go ahead.
was this the same project that we looked at a few months back when we spoke with Miss Beauty over this on housing? Is this part of that same project?
Miss Beauty?
Yes, Chairman, I don't believe so. This is actually a project that was funded. I'm not sure where the funding came from, but it was completed, and I believe that the oversight was through Miranda's department or the food distribution. So this had already been in works during, I guess, prior to my employment. So right now it's currently under Secretary Miranda Carman's department.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Questions from committee?
Chair, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Will these homes be utilized for our elders, our veterans, or homeless?
This is Anna Sterner. Yes, this was designed for homeless elders.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any more questions from committee? Council online.
I have another.
Representative Harjo?
Yes. Now, I think the last time we spoke about this, I think, wasn't there a thing to where policy hadn't been created just yet? And I was just wondering if they've got policy in place for this.
Miranda, do you want to answer that, or?
Yes, this is Miranda. We do have policy in place. I can provide that to council if there's an interest in reviewing that, but we do have policies and procedures for the program.
Sure, please. That would be nice if you could do that. And I thank you for it. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Representative Golden?
Yes, that was part of my question also, because we've been told for over a year now that the reason that we can't use those tiny homes is because there are no policies and procedures and they have to be approved. And according to the quarterly report for the first quarter, that was the problem why they're not open. They haven't been approved. So one, I'd like to know when they're going to be presented to be approved. And two, this budget request says food services from Anna Sterner, but it's for it's funding request for, it looks like it's for everything homeless adult, homeless seniors. So
this is Miranda, Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
Representative Golden, so for the first question on the policies and procedures, those policies and procedures have been approved and we can provide those. The delay that has kept us from opening right now is we weren't able to secure beds for the facilities. They were on back order. And so we've had to wait for those beds to arrive. So that's been the biggest delay is waiting on the beds, unfortunately. And then I know that you had a second question on the budget. And so this project was originally funded out of CARES funding when it launched, and the person that had the idea for the tiny homes, Jenny Smith, she is a part of our caregiver program, and that is underneath food services. And so that's why you see the food services budget description on there. She's been instrumental in developing all of the policies and procedures and helping us create this program. So just a little bit of explanation as to why.
So the current, what you're asking for is for more tiny homes, or for the tiny homes to be fully up and running that we already have?
This will be operational for the 4 tiny homes that we have currently.
And it will be under the food program?
Yes. At this time, it's under the food services program, and it is operated by the caregiver program. And Jenny Smith will be the staff overseeing it.
So one last question, and that is, who approved the policies and procedures?
The policies and procedures go up through our chain within the executive branch, through my office, and then to chief.
All right, thank you, Representative Golden. Is that all you have?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, if you can provide those policies and procedures to the committee and council, we would appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Any more questions or comments? Council, committee? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is NCA 22-072, a law of Muskogee Creek Nation of approving the FY 2023 Indian Housing Plan. Sponsor is Charles McHenry.
Chair, make a motion to do pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative McHenry,
Second.
second by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Ms. Beauty?
Hello, Chairman and Council. This is the annual Indian housing plan for the Indian Housing Block Grant. It's an annual requirement in order for us to receive our funding, and it is for fiscal year 2023. It pretty much mirrors what we already have in place. We did do some updates as far as the funding portion. For example, one area we did increase the land purchasing so that we're able to do new construction in some areas that we feel is a need. We are currently still keeping in this current Indian housing plan, which was implemented last year, is the 20-mile additional boundary for our current jurisdiction for those who are elders to be able to serve them for the emergency repair program, and then also for potential new developments. But this is the annual requirement that we have to do in order to receive our annual funding. We estimate that we are looking at hopefully receiving the $15,988,000 for the fiscal year 2023. Just a side note, in the last year estimate that we submitted before you, we actually did receive, I want to say, about 4 million more than what we anticipated in the current year. So we're hopeful that, you know, maybe we will also receive more than what we've identified as the estimate in this plan for 2023.
All right, thank you for that. Questions from committee? Questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is NCA 22-073. Along Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing expenditure of grant funds awarded from the National Association of Conservation Districts for the benefit of the Muskogee Creek Nation Conservation District. Sponsors Charles McHenry.
Chair, make a motion to do pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative McHenry,
Second.
second by Representative Hicks. Discussion.
Yes, Chairman, this is Patricia Kilian.
Yes, go ahead.
This grant will help the Conservation District be able to provide education and outreach to our citizens and our communities on urban gardening. Some of the outreach programs that might be provided will be preparing traditional foods to food preservation, and even the local farmers market. We will probably purchase some tillers and raised garden bed material that we will be able to help, like I said, our citizens and our communities, and maybe developing a garden plan for themselves to provide for themselves, or be able to go to a farmer's market. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Questions from committee? Questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. Next item we have is NCA 22-074. The law of Muskogee Creek Nation appropriating funds to be used toward the purchase of property located in Hughes County, Oklahoma. Sponsors Galen Cloud.
Chair, I make a motion to do pass.
Motion been made by Representative Cloud for due pass.
Second.
Second by Representative McHenry. Discussion.
Chair, I don't know if Sonia's on the line, but this is the funding for the purchase of the property in Hughes County that was previously passed.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Questions from committee? Questions from council online? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor and 0 against. That motion passes. And that will be forwarded to BF&J for funding source. That concludes that part of the agenda. Now we're in other business, and we have one bill and other business. And I'm going to turn the chair over to Vice Chair Representative Harjo. This one is TR 22-102, and we need to vote to put it on the agenda.
Okay. Give me a moment and we'll pull that up. TR 22-10. What was that again? I'm sorry.
102.
Okay. Well, for some reason, I'm not seeing that on my emails. Let me try it again. My apologies.
Yeah. We'll read it from here. I'll have Representative.
Okay, I found it. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. We have a TR 22-102 tribal. Whoops.
Yeah, I didn't need it.
Okay. A tribal resolution of the Muskogee Nation approving a commercial sale of retail real estate contract for the Muskogee Creek Nation Department of Housing, sponsored by Representative Darrell Proctor. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to add this to the agenda.
Okay, I have a motion to add this TR-22 or 22-102 to the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. And my question is now, do I have to ask for discussion?
Just roll call.
Okay, roll call vote.
Gerald Proctor,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
Okay, TR 22-102 has been added to the. So at this time, I would call for a motion on TR 22-102.
Motion for due pass.
Motion has been made for due pass. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Miss Beauty.
Yes, I'm going to refer this over to Stacy Settlemeyer to provide a discussion on the purchase that we are trying to make. Thank you.
Okay, yes.
Yes, good evening. The funds to purchase this this property of 6 duplexes, which total 12 units, is coming from the Indian Community Development Block Grant, ARPA funds that we received late last year. It will, they are all 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 1-car garage. They are located in the city of Sand Springs. We intend to use these for rental units. And because they are, though, going to be purchased with the ARPA funds for COVID purposes, initially it'll be to respond to any overcrowding of multifamily households, workers, healthcare workers to place in quarantine if needed, and provide any other MCN citizens a place to quarantine. There are also 3 extra lots on this property, just on the end of it at a cul-de-sac that is owned by the same owner. And we intend to purchase those with the duplexes to build some more rental units on them at a later date.
Okay, Discussion from committee. Discussion from council online.
Chairperson, this is Sandy Golden.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I don't know if this is really in line with this, but somewhere I saw that the Creek Nation houses some of our employees when they're hired. And would this housing also include that, or where are they housed? Is that a separate deal?
Miss Beauty, or who could answer that?
I can answer that. This is Nady. As far as when employees are hired, the only thing that I do know at this time that we are assisting with is the Light Horse Police, because I know they're doing a big recruitment to be able to serve all the needs. So we do have something in place on our rental properties that as long as they're employed with the nation's Light Horse, they can qualify, but we have only a few units available. And we've limited to the different properties because under HUD, we are able to do that as they are providing a police presence and they're required to be available if there are any issues in those neighborhoods, which are currently at our rental properties. But we are not able to serve, just a bunch of employees. There has to be like a service/need if we do that. So in this particular one that we're discussing, I know Ms. Settlemeyer mentioned the employee portion for medical. So that would be available, but again, it would, the most I could see, it would depend on where they're working for the nation in that type of medical facility. And then we would determine how many we could serve. So at this time, the only program that we do have available is we are allowing Light Horse at our rental properties. But again, there's a limited amount of units available.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? If not, we'll go for a roll call vote.
Gerald Proctor,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 4 in favor, 0 against.
All right, NCA, I'm sorry, TR that 22-102 is passed. Now I'll turn the chair back over to Representative Proctor.
Thank you, Representative Harjo. That concludes the other business. Now we're in announcements. Anybody have any announcements?
Q at 2 tomorrow.
We'll have HEW committee at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And then BF&J will be Thursday at 3 o'clock. No other announcements, down to benediction and adjournment. And I'd like to ask Joe if you'd offer the benediction for us, will serve as our adjournment.
Lord Creator, we come to you tonight. Thank you for just letting us build and meet once again and all be here safely. Lord, there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world right now. And we just ask that you lay protective hands over everybody and just keep us all safe and so that we can join together once again. Lord, we just ask tonight that decisions we made are looked over for good decisions. Once again, I just ask for protection and that you get a safe passage home. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Meeting adjourned 7:29. Sorry, I should have called the rest.